Am I the asshole for buying my friend's childhood home? I've got a friend, Kay, that I've known since we were 5 and now we're in our mid-30s. We used to be close but after uni he moved to the US for work so we only talk occasionally. In fact I see his parents more often than I see him, because pre-pandemic his dad would get the same train as me into London and sometimes we'd sit together. Anyway, me and my wife have a kid and would like one more at least, so we're looking to buy a house. We currently live in a 2-bedroom flat and it's getting small. We were looking at listings online when I came across my friend's childhood home. Turns out his parents were looking to downsize and were selling their house. Honestly, it was perfect for us, 5 bedrooms, garden space, close to the station. They'd even had a special line laid into their house for super high-speed internet, something like 5 to 10 Gbps down. Seeing this I phoned up my friend's dad and asked him about the house. He was very open to the idea of selling to me, and even said he was glad it was staying in the family. Our families are also close. We dealt with each other directly, without an estate agent, and therefore he was able to give me a nice discount. All that was in October, but my friend Kay has been livid ever since. He keeps saying how I'd bought his childhood and I was taking advantage of his parents by having paid them less. His sister, on the other hand, was happy for me and on lieu of a housewarming party sent my family a framed picture of our 2 families from when we were about 10 or so. While I didn't do anything wrong legally, I feel I may have stepped on Kay's toes by now living in a place where he grew up.
Not the asshole. As someone whose dad is about to put my childhood home on the market, I would love if one of my friends could buy it. It's getting sold regardless. The price that you and friend's father agreed upon must be fair, or else I doubt he would have sold. You'd think it would be a bonus that friend could still visit his childhood home.
While I can understand why Kay feels a little weird about it, you are not the asshole. The nostalgia is no reason for you not to buy the house. Moreover, you didn't take advantage of his parents since the discount you got was the money they now didn't have to pay to the middlemen. I don't know what Kay's problem is, but it's not you.
Not the asshole, obviously. Friend needs to grow the fuck up. If he felt that strongly about the house, he should have bought it himself. Also, it's just a house, not his actual childhood.
Not the asshole, you didn't take advantage of his parents. Sometimes the less people involved the better. Also, his father offered you a discount, you didn't ask for one. Maybe he's just really mad his parents moved from his childhood home. Some people are like that. But considering everyone else in his family is happy, you should be too. No assholes here, you didn't do anything wrong morally. But I can't blame your friend for being weirded out about it. I would probably feel the same if I were him.
Not the asshole. Honestly, unless you screwed them over on what you paid, I don't see an issue. I'd feel good knowing someone I was friends with and spent time in the house was buying it.
Not the asshole. He's probably worried that you'll find his collection of Penthouse or Playboy magazines under the loose floorboard in the wardrobe of what was his bedroom, as he's spent the last few years trying to find a way to discreetly retrieve them.
Not the asshole. Sounds like a case of he doesn't want it, but he also doesn't want anyone he knows to have it either. Let him stew, either he will come around or he will stew on it, but that's his choice to make.
Info. Did Kay express any interest in buying the house?
Info. Did he show any interest and ability to buy the house before this happened?
Was he going to buy it himself? No. What is he on about then? Not the asshole.
Your friend is sad because life is changing and his childhood home is being sold. There's no going home anymore for him the way it used to be. Might be even more difficult since he is overseas. He's not mad at you, he's projecting his disappointment. And he may be mad at his parents too, but it is safer to be mad at you than at his parents. Don't take it personally. Hopefully his anger will fade and he'll come around to the house staying in the family. Good luck, op. Not the asshole. I really don't understand what your friend's problem is here.
Not the asshole. If your friend wanted the house for themselves, then they could have made an offer but didn't. Not the asshole. Pretty clear here. He should be happy for you instead. He must have his reasons, but I doubt any of them are good anyways.
Not the asshole. If he was going to be upset about the home being sold, he should be glad to know you will be taking care of it. It's quite a stretch and false equivalence to say you've bought his childhood, as if that's something that still exists or can be purchased.
Not the asshole. I don't know how it is in your country, but since you did the sale directly, that could have saved him a decent amount of money because an estate agent could get commissions off of sales.
Not the asshole. He's pissed they sold it and taking it out on you. He can fuck off.
Not the asshole, but I'm unsure how you can change your friend's mind. It will be hard for him to meld his childhood memories with your future living situation, especially if you redecorate. I love using Google Earth to look at my childhood homes, but I do feel sad when I see certain changes. Like in my head our home was perfect, so I start yelling at the computer about how the new owners are neglecting the garden, or their new fence looks horrible, or why did they paint the home that color? I can see why your friend might be sad.
Not the asshole. The parents would be happy to see another family grow up in their house.
It's more likely that he was viewing the home as a potential inheritance, or he may have in some way thought that if he moved back he could make them an offer when they were older, and you've just short-circuited that. Likely they didn't telephone him they were considering selling, or that he would be interested.
Not the asshole. The fact is someone was going to buy his childhood, no matter what. It may feel weird that a friend has, but that's all it is, weird.
Not the asshole. If he wasn't selling it to you, he'd be selling it to someone else. I see this as an advantage for Kay since the house is still accessible to him, which it wouldn't be if they sold it to a stranger.
Not the asshole dude. He seems to have some issues. The house was going to be sold. Why is he salty that it was sold to you when his parents liked the idea?
Not the asshole. While I understand his nostalgia, that doesn't mean you did anything wrong, and bonus for him, he can still visit his childhood home when he comes back to your country. How could you have stolen his childhood if he's still acting like a child?
Not the asshole. I don't think you did anything wrong, but if I was in your friend's shoes I would also feel hurt, not by you, but by the situation that someone else was living in my childhood home that I lost. Even if his dad voluntarily sold the house, your friend might still perceive this as a loss. If a stranger bought the house, then maybe it would have been easier to let go and move on. But since you will be living in it, it might be harder for him, because the house will still be in his life, it's just that it won't be his anymore. I don't think you did anything wrong, but if I were in your friend's shoes, I think I would also be a little sad at the whole situation. I just wouldn't say anything because no one did anything wrong.
Not the asshole. Although I can see Kay's point happening, it's obviously not what happened here. You would think after 30 years or so, he should know you better. This is stupid. You're clearly not the asshole. Not the asshole. Sounds like Kay is having a hissy fit. Not the asshole. You are an adult and the house was for sale, so you do what you want with your money.
Not the asshole. Although I can understand why Kay is upset. Personally, I'd be scared of buying a home from someone I know in case they feel they have some say over what you do with it and any changes you make, etc. But if that's not an issue here, then I don't see any problem. You haven't done anything wrong.
Not the asshole. Unless he sold it to you for way less than it's worth, you aren't taking advantage of him.
Not the asshole. I can understand why he feels unsettled about it, as when he comes to see you he'll be a guest in someone else's home, a house that has all his own childhood memories. You've done nothing wrong, of course. I hope you're all very happy there.
So what you're saying is that 3 members of the core family are very happy, except for the person least involved, who obviously felt the least connection to his family home because he freaking moved to the US. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. The house was going to be sold to someone, sometime. Enjoy it. Not the asshole. The purchase price was agreed upon by you and the dad. I doubt the dad would have sold if he wasn't okay with the price. And was he planning on dropping by whenever if the house had sold to some stranger? That line of thinking doesn't track. If he wanted to keep the house in the family, maybe he should have offered to buy the house from his parents.
NTA. This sounds like Kay has some misplaced feelings. Instead of lashing out, or even just communicating with his parents, it is easier to be mad at Op. If Op stays respectful and chill, Kay will eventually deal with his stuff and come around.
Not the asshole. Is it possible that he would have wanted to buy the house but couldn't afford to, and is now salty and jealous on you? His reaction really is over the top. Nah. You are not at all wrong to buy the house, but it's not completely unreasonable for your friend to feel weirded out by it, and because of that he is lashing out. I think you should sit him down and talk it out with him. I'm sure you both will be able to solve this issue. Hopefully, his father would talk to him too and let him know that he is not being taken advantage of.
Not the asshole. I wish someone I knew had bought my childhood home so that I could still go inside of it. Instead, I occasionally look at it on Google Earth.
Not the asshole. But keep in mind that your friend was maybe planning, and even depending, on either buying or eventually inheriting that house, just never mentioned it, so it's understandable that he might be frustrated. If that's the case, he'll get over it.
I mean, you're not the asshole, but if I were Kay, I would definitely feel weird about one of my friends buying the house I grew up in. Nah, no man. Not the asshole. You didn't do anything wrong. Your friend obviously has some kind of unresolved issue, or something on his mind that he should have discussed with his parents. Whatever it is, it's causing him some anguish and he's taking it out on you in misplaced anger. Enjoy your new home.
Not the asshole. If anything, he ought be thankful because it went to you and not to somebody your friend doesn't know, therefore giving him the chance to visit you. Revisit his nostalgia.
Not the asshole. Obviously. His parents were selling. You were buying. Houses that are fairly priced rarely sell for what people are asking for anyway, plus saving having to pay a realtor etc. He's the only one with a problem and I honestly don't see why. Maybe he wanted to buy it but can't afford it? I dunno.
Not the asshole. Your friend's response is ridiculous. His parents are selling regardless. So, having a total stranger move in to do who knows what to the house, is preferable to selling to a known and previously loved person. Makes no sense. Kay needs to get over himself and grow up. He's acting very immature.
Not the asshole. This is a toxic and immature response. He probably thought he was going to get it in an inheritance. Glad you were able to get a house that you are familiar with, have a good relationship with the previous owners, and should have no surprises. Hopefully your friend will come around.
Not the asshole. You were just looking for a place to live with your family. Is not you fault that you ex-BFF is such a big baby. Not the asshole, and your friend is a dope. I would kill to be able to visit my old childhood home without being a weird old man creep on some stranger's doorstep asking to come in. The house was getting sold either way. Instead of some stranger, it's someone he knows and can visit.